you, Joe. Good evening, citizens, and I'm Moose. Yes, that's what they used to call me. LTTMoose. And I come back to you now, at the turn of the tide. Also to bring you this soft news piece about the Crystal Empire. Yes, we all know that the Crystal Empire has its bizarre traditions. Flugelhorns, national anthems that take longer than a day to memorize, jousting without any riders, which, in all honesty, is just ponies stabbing each other, and giant bizarre headdresses. But there's one tradition that outdates and outcrazes them all. I speak, of course, of the practice of never asking a strange pony what their name is. Yes, there's nothing that says we're entirely out of touch with societal norms after 1,000 years of solitude than basing identity off of loosely defined characteristics. You see, the Crystal Empire was originally founded as a prison colony for undesirables, ponies who could not conform to the status quo, or anyone unfortunate enough to overfill Celestia's teacup. Rounding them up was simple. I mean, when you live in a society where your name is indicative of your personality or career choice, names like Quickshank and Slaughterhouse 5 make it pretty easy to round you up and banish you. Now, she couldn't very well banish them to the moon. I mean, that's where Luna was, and that would sort of defeat the purpose of solitary confinement. And she also tried to turn them into stone, just like Discord, but sort of botched that one and only partially crystallized them. This actually had the side effect of overriding their crime-related cutie marks with generic gemstones, and also slightly changing their hair just a bit, which honestly is the only way you can tell these ponies apart from each other. Now, this actually gave them the opportunity to start fresh, so long as they didn't mention their names. Now, of course, Princess Celestia claimed that was exactly what she was trying to do, just as planned. This is actually how King Sombra managed to rise to power. See, after the previous monarch was forced to resign amid the Barngate scandal, his replacement was to be greeted at the train station. Unfortunately, the real King Sombra happened to share a preference for floral-patterned luggage as Malevolence Nightshade, Destroyer of Hope, who just happened to be on a vacay from the Pit of Despair. Having never actually asked his name, he was quickly sworn into office before the mistake could be rectified, ushering in a multi-generational regime of torture and slavery. This is why you ask for the birth certificate, people. Now, this tradition continues to make trouble for the Empire even after their emergence from 1,000 years of captivity. Last week, at an official Crystal Palace function, two socialites by the names of, well, that's the point, nobody knows, managed to bypass the royal guards by trotting up with confidence. They then chatted with dignitaries, posed for pictures with shining armor, and did the sunshine, sunshine, ladybugs awake dance with cadence. No charges were ever pressed against them because upon closer inspection, the guest list merely listed 150 entries of fancy pony. Now, some of the more progressive-minded ponies claim that this is actually a way of combating prejudice brought on by the naming convention. Who's to say that a pony named Miss Harshwinnie has to be abrasive and callous? Or that a pony with a trophy cutie mark is part of the Equestrian Games Committee? I mean, yeah? What's that? That's exactly what happened? Huh. Alright, lesson learned. Okay, always judge a book by its cover, because that's why they make covers, right? Well, that's all for me tonight, Joe. See, during my little jaunt over to the undiscovered country, I managed to bring something back with me. Japanese Oni. So now I'm going to have to do a battle with him, try to see if I can't send him back to the land of wind and ghosts. Wish me luck. Watashi nakusu desu ke Yamamoto-san? Osaka Jaku Company!